I am your host, Leah Dunlap, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance. Hi, everyone. Hey. I am so excited to be here because I'm about to talk about something that really today has kind of been showered like a ray on, because I think that we're at this point, which I can't believe. I don't know about you. The year is like, woo, right? And I want you to know it's not too late. So some of the things that are, going around on the internet right now about like, what was the best thing that happened in 2020, or where is your word for 2021? People are feeling like, God, I can't wait till it's over. Some people are. And I really wanted to talk today about how to take inspired action so that you can still finish 2020 strong, right? If you felt like, man, it's just been so hard to get what you want, or you're still playing that game of hustling and pushing, and you might even feel like you're having to pay your dues. I don't want you to feel like that, right? I don't want you to feel like that's what's happening, and that you're just going to kind of go through the finish line of 2020 exhausted and wiped out, and that sensation of nothing to show for it, or like it's a lost year. It doesn't have to be that way. And if you feel like that, you feel like you're giving and pushing and you're just not getting anywhere, come on over, grab a pen. I've got a little story to tell you and some tips that might help make that shift so that you finish strong. That this year ends up for you in a much stronger way, feeling aligned to what you're doing and how you're doing it. Now, if as you're listening to this and you think about yourself or someone else and you want to invite them over to come and hear in and listen in, please do. Send them on over, bring them on in. If you are new and you haven't watched anything before that I've created on this Facebook page or in this group or in this virtual sphere that we're all in, I want you to say hello and let me know where you're from. And I want you to know who I am, because maybe you just kind of stumbled upon me here. I am Leah Dunlap. I'm known as the Oracle on Purpose. I am an intuitive business architect, the creator of the Purpose and Prosperity Accelerator, the Master Creators Academy, and the best-selling book, The Power Plan, which helps you to master the law of attraction in 6 simple steps. I guide leaders to find and follow their own unique life purpose for greater fulfillment and prosperity, because I believe that we can have both. Yes, you can. And I also believe that there's still time in 2020 to take the right action and have both now. So I want to share that wealth and that prosperity with people that are watching me and showing up and leaning in and are curious, which is why I have opened some spots on my calendar to, as my gift to you this holiday season, to have you sit down and go through a purpose and prosperity session and find out like what that next step might be for you. So if you are an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur or business leader who's ready to clarify their purpose and next steps so that they can actually do their real work and live a life of significance, come on in, click on the link above or below in the comments and grab a spot before they're all gone, or before the end of the year. It's coming like so quickly. I definitely want you to get one of those calls if that's you. And I want to share a little bit about a client of mine that I was talking to today that had that moment. She had that moment of thinking to herself, sorry, I'm moving my chair around, that looking backwards, she thought for a moment, for a long moment, that, she'd wasted so much time because she'd been struggling through this year. She had been struggling with taking action and the right kind of action. And when we looked at where she was, some of the things she was talking about, like, she felt like she had given up on some of the things that she had started off strong with. That sound familiar, right? She had all this energy in the middle of the year when she kind of made a decision that she was going to make these big changes. And so for the first few weeks or the first few months, she was really intent on having those changes happen. And one of the things that, we talked about today was part of what happened for her was the mindset piece, right? She honestly said that for her, she had been in this place of wanting this goal her whole life, right? Before she started working with me, it had been in the back, way, way back of her mind, but it had been nagging at her whole life. And there were things that were going on in her life that she felt that she wasn't able to get over so that she could really do her real work and create this goal, bring it to fruition. And as we talked about what she really had done in the last 5 months, she started to see that what she was doing was breaking through some of those barriers that had been there for so long that they became ingrained, right? Patterns of behavior, levels of acceptance of things that she was tolerating that were keeping her stuck from moving forward. And what she has done that hadn't happened before that was started to create real, powerful, strong, solid boundaries. That was the first step. And if you can relate with that, right? Like just always giving away her time. She was always just giving and giving and giving. If somebody needed something, she just wanted to serve. She wanted to help. She really wanted to help people. And so she continued to just give up extra time, any time that she had that she was going to spend working on her project, she was giving it away. And she was giving it away for free. And we're talking about hours and hours of her time helping organizations that she really cared about and really believed in, but she got consumed by them. Can you relate to that? She got consumed by the idea that that kind of serving was somehow going to help her achieve her goal. Like that was suddenly she was focused on helping these others achieve their goals and giving all of her energy to do that. And so as I listened to her, I realized like the things that she was stuck around, right, that kept happening, there was a very similar theme, which was just that she felt that she was in this moral obligation to help others. And what we talked about, which is one of the things that we'll talk about in a moment a little bit more, is the idea of her being stuck in this moral conundrum. And this is what it looks like. You believe that good people help other people, right? That's kind of the theory. And so the more you help people in your mind, in this theory, you then become one of the good people and people will help you, right? So first it seems like, well, that sounds great, except that's not how it works. Because the energy of helping someone else just so that they will eventually reciprocate and help you, that breaks down. And that's what she saw. All of the giving, all of the energy, all of the support, all of the free energy and support and work that she was giving out there wasn't coming back to her. And her goals were just kind of sitting on the sidelines. And she felt like she wasn't getting anything done. But as she continued to start to build boundaries, she began to see how the lack of boundaries in the past had kept her stuck, had kept her kind of circling in this cycle. So I showed her how to take inspired action to finish 2020 strong. And that how as we as master creators are driven to grow and build what is ours, right? Our unique life purpose, our internal goals, we're driven. There is something inside of us that wants us to get that done, right? So it will always kind of bubble to the surface. And by the end of the call, she realized that, oh my gosh, there was just this recognition as she kind of smiled from ear to ear, and her whole face lit up when she realized she had still been stuck in that loop. Even though she had started these boundaries, right? Because she hadn't done this last thing that I'm going to talk about. So she had started the boundaries, which was great. And, that acknowledgement of her no boundaries to having some boundaries and then really strong boundaries in some areas, that was a big shift. And those things needed to happen so that as she continues to build on her bigger, larger goal, she has the ability to stand for herself and what she's working on. And so her commitment to herself when we finished the call was to be and remain committed to her real focus and not let other people's problems take her from fulfilling her purpose. And that was the key that she kind of caught for herself, which was really a powerful moment for her to have that realization and know that her real work was still there, was still trying to get through, right? She was still feeling like she needed to find space for it. So how do we finish strong in 2020, right? All right, we're going to talk about that in a second. So if you want to know and you think to yourself, yeah, I would love to know, how do I do that? How do I make sure that what these little things that are going on for me that are keeping me from feeling strong or finishing strong, that they're not in my way anymore? So if you feel like you can relate to my client's story and see for yourself that, yeah, you've been kind of stuck in that cycle, then like I said, I'm opening those 5 spots. Take advantage of them. Sign up on the link above for your next available spot. And we will go through the process, go through that purpose and prosperity session and see for you, right, where that stuck point is. And like I said, that's a gift for me to use. So take advantage of it now. While you're listening to this, even go ahead and click on it. It's really easy just to finish the application. And even if you're not going to do that, which I hope you do, stick around because I want to talk to you about what those pieces were that we talked about. Because I think it's important that, I want to say especially this year, but I don't even think it's especially this year. I think it's just, to me, it's especially for people who are really ready to put those blocks aside and create those boundaries, because once you do, you have the capacity to expand to your fullness. When you know you can put those boundaries in place, when you know you can hold your own space, then you get to show up more fully, and the world needs that now and evermore. So if you do feel like you're treading water or chasing cats and it's time to stop, right? Stop focusing your energy on everyone else's problems and start doing the work that is yours to do. It's not complicated, right? It's just time to shift that thought pattern that's kept you from rising to share your own unique life purpose. And the world needs that. It needs you to set those strong boundaries, the ones that allow you, like I said, to expand so that the fullness of who you are is delivered. So here's what you need to know and what I share with my client today. You can't fix, all right, listen to this. You can't fix anyone else's problems. No matter how much blood, sweat, and tears you shed, the problems are theirs to fix. Okay? You can't fix anyone else's problems. Doesn't mean you can't support people, but you can't fix them. And if you're going into a partnership, a relationship, right, a business agreement, an arrangement, anything, and you think that's your job, then you're already lost, right? Because the only problems you can fix are your own. Now, again, might need support, but you have to do the actions that it takes. You have to show up. Now, you can choose to be distracted, right? You can choose to be distracted from your true path by this false sense of heroism that comes from thinking that you're going to, be the white knight or bail others out of their own messes. And in the end, you will both drown. They'll drown because they haven't learned for themselves what they need to do to get stronger or to build or create something better for themselves. And you'll drown because you cannot carry that dead weight. And like I said, you can't fix their problem. So you just keep giving until there's nothing left. So you serve everyone best when you take that same energy and focus and take action on behalf of your own goals and dreams. When you do, you can come back to the world resourced and ready to serve from your overflow. Serve from your overflow. That's what the way that we're built is designed to help us to stand strong, right? Strong roots, and give from the overflow. Right? Our fruits of our own labor are what the world gets. That's the piece that they get from us because we are in that overflow state. It's that simple. If you really want to take inspired action and finish 2020 strong, you need to set strong boundaries and have an intention for the energy you bring back to yourself in setting those boundaries. You need to follow the why you're taking that energy back. Put it into the things that are yours to do. So if what I have said already has got you nodding your head or maybe smirking or shaking your head, and it's resonating with you, I want you to book a Purpose and Prosperity session while they're still available so that you can take inspired action in 2020 and finish strong. All right, that's right. So if you're an entrepreneur, business leader, real estate agent, healer, and you know that you're ready to really shift into that powerful action to finish strong, then I really want you to take advantage of that call. When we do, we'll figure out where you are getting stuck. And you'll walk away with practical, tactical tools to move forward. You will get clear next steps so that you'll know how to move forward. And you'll have the confidence to accelerate your purpose and prosperity now. Thank you. I'm Leah Dunlap, the Oracle on Purpose. I hope that this holiday and this year end up being your best year yet.
Thanks for tuning in to the Oracle on Purpose show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you leaving a comment. Also, you can subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. If you'd like to get clear on your highest vision and next steps, go to oracleonpurpose.com. See you next week.